They're gonna absolutely give us a great show tonight.
Yep, and it looks like they are ready, steady, and we're off.
Alright, so I think already we're seeing some divergence between these two runners. Pretty common, you'll see the split in almost all cases. One of them will sometimes head up to level 1 vanilla location, one of them heads to level 3 depending on their comfort with using the screen scroll technique to wrap across the screen and head over to that vanilla 3 location. So since it is Dungeon Shuffle in the bracket flag set, we are going to see which of the dungeons are shuffled to these vanilla locations, if any. As we see, chessjerk uncovers level 5 at the vanilla level 1 location. So we'll be looking for 2 items in here.
I've been trying to pirouette that wall open up. If it was a bomb hole, it would have opened up, but it is not, so he's going right. Meanwhile, Dark Falls finds level 8, or as it's deemed in this seed, Camp 8.
Yep, takes that manhandler with 1 hit, but does immediately find a key block there. So level 8 is a pretty good, place to find right off the bat. You do know that there are 3 items that are hidden in there. It also tends to be the bigger levels, so you have to be mindful of that too when you're considering resources, even at the beginning or at the end.
Dark Falls also trying to do a pirouette to open some more of that level. So he went in and out to go opposite of him. Now he went left, and that didn't work. So I think he's out of there for now.
Yep, and that's a very, very fortunate enemy spawn right outside of level 8. Those blue moblins, which look like they're getting taken down with 1 hit, very useful for farming bombs. So as if you do need to do some exploration in 8, that's about the best way.
And look at that, medium secret of 35. Dark Falls bombing that open. So pretty good money, at least medium secret wise.
Yep, never hurts to get started with a little bit of cash there. The nice thing about these flags is that you do have all of the secrets in their vanilla locations, so you, as a runner, will not be scrambling for cash as long as you know where those vanilla secrets are. And at this point, every one of these runners, absolutely. So if you need, if you need rupees later to buy arrows, bait, or if you need some extra bombs, then you'll know where to go for it.
Speaking of knowing where to go, chessjerk is all the way over to the Armos location, taking out that blue Lionel, hoping for a bomb drop. I'm also going to check out the shop here.
Ooh, cheapish bombs.
Yep, cheap bombs but also to keep in mind that is a pretty cheap key for 74 rupees. And we have the Armos item.
The raft, nice early pickup. So since we do have Dungeon Shuffle on, all of the dungeons will be located at one of the vanilla locations, which means that we do have required items to get into a few of those locations. The raft for level 4, the recorder for vanilla level 7, and a candle or the wand with the book to get into level 8. And Dark Falls picks up the first item in level 5, which is the power bracelet.
That power bracelet sitting on the floor. It is considered an important item, so it's guaranteed not to be in level 9 for these seeds. But for the flags, knowing where levels are and essentially the power bracelet just opening up to take any caves, not an item you'd hoping to see. Something else we don't hope to see, those deaths like chessjerk taken here in the level 1 located at the vanilla level 6 spot. So hoping to grab 3 items out of here.
Definitely, we tend to see this level being dug pretty early on by the runners. What we unfortunately are also seeing is these whiz robes hanging out in the dungeon. Since the enemy shuffle is on for these flags, you'll see enemies occupying the overworld that might have been, ripped out of their dungeon locations. So if you see blue Lionels on the overworld, that means you probably won't see them in dungeon. But if you're observing that, maybe the overworld combat is a little easy, that means you could have some of those more difficult enemies thrown around in dungeons as you're trying to explore.
Yep. Luckily, Fred hasn't moved things like Gleeox onto the overworld just yet.
Oh, wow, and chessjerk picks up a really excellent find, the any key on the floor of level, which means chessjerk does not need to worry about key economy for the rest of this map.
Yep, great early find. One of my favorite finds, along with the red ring. But as we've seen in past races, having keys versus having the any key might change your route along level 9. But given that it's pretty easily accessible, I assume both runners will be grabbing that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it was in too tough of a route, so we'll see chessjerk definitely take advantage of that progressing through these levels. And yeah, the red ring, like you mentioned, any sort of early combat advantage you can have to defend against things, just like that orange wizrobe that unfortunately took out chess.
Yeah, these wizrobes aren't playing nice. It looked like Dark Falls was maybe heading up to Vanilla 9, but he's going to check out the Armos item first.
Well, he'll try.
Oh!
Yeah,
Gone with the gut.
not a good screen there. You don't have a lot of real estate, and some enemies are really looking to take you out. chessjerk picks up the map on level 1 and continues to make his way up the smokestack.
Alright, I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just making it up as I go along.
Could be a toilet that's doing a little bidet action. Oh, that's right. That's classic microscope. Gary and Wolf has it.
Very good. You could compromise and just say it's a microscope. It's also got an eye wash feature on it, so it's like an eye. You know what? I'm gonna stop this train of thought before we carry on. Dark Falls wrapping around near the forgotten spot and heads over. We're presumably gonna check the Armos item, and we'll be glad to pick up that raft. It's one of those things that you don't want to be digging for later on in this.
Speaking of not digging, chessjerk on the board with one Triforce. Grab that at a level 1.
Yep,
chessjerk with a nice clock drop outside the shop here.
Nothing in there that you really want. A key for 115. We know they're cheaper elsewhere, so not really any reason to go back to that shop unless you are desperate for a heart. I just don't see that happening.
Yep, so we've seen an arrow shop and the candle shop. So the blue ring shop or the shield shop is going to hold our blue candle this seed.
If we did see the blue ring there for 250, the vanilla price. We'll see how the secrets roll for the seed. chessjerk takes the raft to level 4 location and finds level 4.
And finds some blue dark nuts and says, maybe I'm gonna go the other way first. Ooh, best boss in the game, Rupee boss.
Very daunting. I don't even know how you prepare for a fight like that.
Well, one thing to keep in mind, if you don't collect that final rupee, you can come in and out and, farm some easy money.
Very good point to know, especially if you're looking for money early on or even later in the seed. You get bait blocked, you need to go farming. That's good advice.
Dark Falls picking up his any key here in level 1. chessjerk noping out of the rest of that dungeon. Fall sees that Triforce and is going to continue on. This level 1, though, infested with Wizrobes. But those 3 Dodongos give you an opportunity to farm up some bombs, so it wouldn't be terrible or terribly hard to, just drop a whole bunch of bombs on top of those Wizrobes. Darkfall's shown us that heart container. Also looks like chessjerk found that as well. So just looking for the staircase here in level 1.
Yep, we need that staircase. Hopefully finding it soon, but you gotta foot past some blue wizards. chessjerk gets 3 out of 4 segments from that manhandler, but doesn't quite get the 4th, and gets taken out by. Yeah, and we see the blue moblins right here. If they dropped bombs, we would assume it would be a very location to farm bombs, but still about as convenient as you can get. So chessjerk taking advantage of that. Darkfall, however, finds that is a lovely sight to behold, especially 11 minutes into the match. Silver arrows, you don't have to dig for those in 9, as is wont to happen in these brackets.
There we go, CJ with a very nice bomb drop, all 4, bullseye. But Dark Falls with those silvers, that's a big advantage. chessjerk, grab the heart container, grab the any key, grab the Triforce. I don't believe he grabbed those silver arrows.
I don't think we saw chessjerk pick him up out of 1, but Dark Falls has cleared 1, found the heart container, the any key, and the silver arrows, and he's out of there with that Triforce.
And located at the graveyard, it's kind of out of the way. So unless of course, we know they'll grab the Triforce or the recorder eventually. But it might be a while before he goes in there. Now, granted, you don't really need the silvers until the end, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yep, actually, a few nice advantages for finding the silvers early is not needing to spend the money on wooden arrows, and when you run into Pole's voices, those hoppin' bunny, you can take them out very easily compared to with a number of sword slashes. You can see, 2-minute combat rooms. It's just not what you are looking for in what you're hoping to be a fast seed. So definitely silvers pose a great advantage. They do a ton of damage up front.
Yep, I don't know if you were watching Antler's stream earlier. Antlers, are you in chat? He ran a seed where there was bunny room after bunny room. But Dark Falls up here on Death Mountain finds vanilla level 9. Fred.
Yeah, the nice thing about that is the trek up to 9 can really be a time grab there. So if you don't have to go up there until the end, that's pretty much the best case scenario for it. You don't want to have to keep crawling up to 9 to find another item or to double dip a dungeon. You just go there, that's your end destination. And Dark Falls, unfortunately, takes a death there and is back at start.
Wow, take a look at this map of level 8. Tells me level 7 is gonna kind of be on the puny side, so not too bad of a choice if you want to dig that one out.
Yep. And you'd mentioned earlier farming bombs in this triple Dodongo room, or any Dodongo room, and that's exactly what chessjerk is doing here, partially out of necessity, but also it's a good time to get some bomb reef. Is rewarded with a key, is totally unnecessary.
Yeah, that shutter door kind of locked him inside with those Dodongos, so he's going to take him out or up an A. It looks like he's ladder blocked here in this level 8. And speaking of ladder blocks, Dark Falls also running into a Chevy room.
Ooh, yeah, not friendly to runners if they haven't picked up a ladder yet. You're hoping that never blocks an important item, but you know that the time you can't find the ladder, till 40 minutes into the seed, that's when you're going to have a necessary ship.
And another Chevy room. Okay, chessjerk finds a bomb hole around that block. Can go south.
That lake kind of reminds me of a goldfish, but it's kind of like in a bag of the goldfish crackers. Like that one little guy in the top left maybe is a crumb at the bottom.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I ate quite a few of those back in the day. Probably in the millions of counts, actually, now that I think of it.
You know what? We've all been there. Chessjerk finds a Gleeok and says, "No, thank you."
Another place we've all been.
Very, very picking up, some Ruby finds along the way. Again, it won't be too bad to have some.
Yep, most likely we'll be doing the purchase of the blue candle. It is rare. It's not unheard of that you get a free red.
Yeah, seen it recently. Coast item, floor item in a dungeon, but it's not reliable, I think, enough to go digging for. So if you can make the purchase, you're definitely inclined to do that.
My favorite is when it's blocked by a mugger for cheaper than it is in the shop.
It's all about that economy. It's a great find though, if you can get it. Chessjerk finds the magical boomerang and says it is not for him and skips out on it.
Yeah, less of a great find. Oh, that Dongo trolling him in this Triforce room as Darkfall's taken a death here in level 4. Both spending quite a bit of time in these square dungeons.
Yeah, it does feel like we've been in both of these for quite some time. Chessjerk does have the can find really 2 more items in here in addition to the magical boomerang. So I'm guessing that's what he's banking. We'll see how it turns out as we progress through the level. Falls is just worked diligently to take down these blue dark nuts and hopes to be rewarded. We'll see what comes out of it. And just can't do anything about that Chevy room.
I'm guessing it's going to be the map. There are rules. The map has to be fairly reachable with shapes.
Yep, and sometimes it can be the difference between runner success in a race too. If you know a one room, that could be all the difference. Dark Falls finds the compass in level 4.
Yeah, I was close, but chessjerk finds the bow. And just like that, we here in the commentary booth and y'all watching, we are a quarter away from go mode.
So with the exception of the probability that the latter is necessary, we're seeing an interesting divergence, I think, that's been coming up lately too, is that runners know where one or the other of the important or of some of the important items are. So you'll see the ladder and the rest on one side and the recorder and the bow on and so we know where everything is, but the runners are searching in opposite directions. So very interesting how this can play out. And so we'll see, does chessjerk pick up the wooden arrows? Does he go into level 1 and find the silvers? Does Dark Falls find level 8? It's really hard to say where these runners are going to go.
Yeah, another thing that might be going through their head, chessjerk is up a game, so he might be feeling more comfortable with taking gambles of, all right, maybe the silvers are in 9, and I'm going to go clear out that. Darkfall is feeling a little bit of pressure, might be making some hasty calls, might be like really being thorough. So this is going to be a good one. It's still early on, and both runners just Triforce apiece. Really taking a lot of time in these dungeons, though.
Yeah, Dark Falls come into level 8, it does get ladder block, but we know that since chessjerk doesn't have the ladder, there's a way around it, and dark balls can get a bow and have that advantage to silvers too. So we'll see what route dark balls decides to take in.
It
Though
roughly has his beam swords.
Yep. Though he can't reach the item from here, defeating this last enemy will show if, what lies in here, if anything. Sees just a pack of bombs and heads out of that room.
And I think chessjerk cleared that level 8. I didn't see what was in that Triforce room. Might have been a dig dogger.
Yeah, I was looking over at Dark Falls' room, so I missed it.
But it does look like he came out of that level with an extra heart container, and we saw the boomerang and the bow in staircases. chessjerk purchasing his blue candle at the rare shop. Now appears to be headed down the south coast, maybe not.
Yeah, we could see burning for a large secret down here. We could see probably heading over to vanilla level 8 location just to see what level it. There's quite a few errands to run over on this side of the map. Not a bad place for chessjerk to be.
Yep, and doing exactly that, and we have an 86 large secret. Not too bad. Definitely have seen worse in the last few races I've watched.
Yep, and I think the range on those large secrets goes from 50 to 150 rupees, which is really pretty punishing if you're expecting a large secret that, vanilla is 100 and you find it down to 50 or 55. Not really what you're looking for. Better than the thing, but still not great.
Here is something we're looking for, the coast item. And it's the magic wand, so quality of life item. Pass by here with the ladder. Definitely going to be picking that up, but if not, that's something we don't care about.
Yep, it can be useful for combat, but, if you don't have the time or you don't want to spend the time heading over there, probably won't bother. We see level 6 here at vanilla level 8, and we immediately are confronted by a manhandler who really does not want us to proceed.
Confronted and locked in.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty nasty room.
Yep, taking a bite out of chessjerk. And noping out. Yeah, I'm gonna check this shop here.
Yeah, maybe hoping for a bomb purchase. Not sure what chessjerk is looking for there. I mean, it's always great to have the knowledge for the shops. Strategically, it's hard to say what would be the most advantageous purchase right now.
Yep. He might be thinking arrows.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad call.
Just given that the bomb dropping enemies we've seen haven't been too beefy. We see at level 7 at vanilla 2. So I believe that leaves level 2 underneath Recorder Lake. Here we go. chessjerk's luck turning an immediate item, but just a heart container. So not turning all the way, just 90 degrees.
Level 2 could be at the recorded location for vanilla level 7. I think it could also be up at level 5. I don't know that we've gone up the mountain.
Oh, that's right.
We're looking for levels 2 and 3. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Very well could be at that location. In any case, we will need the recorder for whatever level is under there.
chessjerk stocking up on some heart containers, making sure, guaranteeing him that white sword item.
Yep. And this is this room on Dark Falls' side, the Ganon room, basically. Very good example of why we want to find that any key early, because if one door could make the difference, you want to be able to unlock it without worrying that, that could be the difference between finishing and not finishing a level.
Dark Falls picking up the compass, and chessjerk finding the ladder here in the White Sword Cave. So chessjerk's ladder blocks are no more.
Yep, and we did have a ladder block Triforce in 8, so that is a great find for the Lionels. Don't think so and decide the chessjerk should not be up on the mountain anymore. Unfortunately, takes a death, heads back to start, and is now heading east again for more exploration.
Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Gary and Wolf in chat making a very good point there. Gary is restreaming for us and is saying blue Lionels are a bad thing when they're near that white sword item location. I have been murdered by blue Lionels on way more than one occasion as I'm attempting to get the white sword in vanilla, so I absolutely feel that comment. And chessjerk picks up the wand off the coast. Probably a good idea, at least for combat's sake, in the beginning here, until, if we get enough hearts for magical sword, or if we find the white sword. Either way, Dark Falls heads into this case in level 8 and picks up the bow, and now has the advantage of a pretty beefy long-range combat.
Chessjerk showing us the rare East Coast Take Any Cave, making that play for magical sword all the more likely.
Yep, so you need a minimum of 10 hearts to pick up the magical sword. You can go up to 14 total, and at that point you're guaranteed to pick up this. We've seen it be cruel, so we'll see tonight if chessjerk decides to make that play, how many hearts will be required.
We will eventually have to go back in the area to grab those silver arrows.
So chessjerk, yep, it's going to be the first of our runners to head to the vanilla level 5 location. We'll see which dungeon is up here, 2 or 3. Both, I would say, pretty equitable in terms of difficulty, in terms of, exploration and how challenging that'll be. It is level 3. There are 2 items that will be located within this level as well, and we immediately run into a block here.
Ho ho ho! As Dark Falls checking out the coast, I'm curious to see if he'll be sticking around level 6 and 7 a little bit longer than chessjerk did, just because he is armed with those silver arrows and they do 4 hit points apiece.
chessjerk finding one of the more frustrating. There were wall masters. Okay, but all the same, finding one of the more frustrating features of this randomizer is when you find a push block and it does. Dark Falls grabs the heart container out of level 7 here as a staircase.
Yep, and it looks like he's going to be doing a little bit more exploration than chessjerk did.
Yeah, I really think the silvers are going to make quite a difference here. You don't have to get up next to the enemies to defeat them. They are effective against a lot of the enemies that you'll run into. So, again, great find for Dark Falls. I think finds the bomb upgrade here. But we won't know how much that is until one of them misses by with 97 or more rupees.
Yeah, that is something Dark Falls will have to be a little cautious of, is his rupee count. Having the silvers early, it can be detrimental to one's wallet. luckily, he knows where all three of those large secrets and all the medium secrets are. And yeah, as I said, level 7 kind of on the slinky side there. As Dark Ball's picking up the map. But yeah, we'll have to be mindful of how many arrows he's shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to note that we're 30 minutes into the seed. Each of our runners only has one Triforce. We do know where everything is located except that record, everything needed to beat the game. So recorder most definitely, but we'll also be looking for the red ring just for that extra defense boost.
Yeah, at this point, they're going to turn down any bananas, any candle, anything besides that red ring and recorder.
Another heart container on Jet's side, so level 3 has a heart container as one of the items.
He has the potential to make that play for Magical Sword.
Yeah, very good point in chat. A linear spin is really quite nice. If you find the Triforce early, that's even better, but it does reduce the amount of zigging and zagging you need to do in order to, uncover more of the and take a linear path. That's pretty nice in terms of routing. Chessjerk doesn't quite want to pick up the Triforce yet and instead decides to defeat all of the blue dark nuts in this room.
But chessjerk finally picking up Triforce number 2 at 32 minutes in. Grabbed that Triforce number 1 just a handful of minutes, so might be feeling behind. We'll have to see if he can pop in here for a post-race interview. But yeah, taking a Triforce lead.
Yeah, I would definitely understand that though. You're 32 minutes in, you have 2 pieces of Triforce, and you have to wonder how many does my opponent have?
Yeah, luckily, he does have almost the same information as Dark Falls does at this point, other than those silver arrows. Silver arrows for Dark Falls, ladder for chessjerk. I don't know which one's more valuable.
It it's really hard to say, honestly. Chessjerk, picking up the wooden arrow, so it doesn't have to worry too much about it now, I guess. Yeah, Dark Falls is getting kind of put between a rock and a hard place here. Doesn't have any rupees and can't use the silvers at this point. Exactly as you mentioned, you really have to be cautious about resource management here. And it's out of bombs, unless, able to pick up that bomb pack on the floor. But these 2 blue land molas are really not happy. So chessjerk on his side is about to find out the level 9 is in fact at Death Mountain.
I've been to answer Malachor in chat. We've also seen level 4, I believe, was quite heavily ladder blocked with a handful of Chevy rooms. chessjerk heading back to Vanilla 1. See what is in here along with the power bracelet. I'm looking for a staircase. Oh, I guess it was Dark Falls who grabbed that earlier.
Yep, Dark Falls had the power bracelet earlier, but with, right off the bat, the first level you head to and all you see is a 4-headed Gleeok, I wouldn't. And it's interesting to note the heart container discrepancy between the 2 players right now. 6 on Dark Falls' side, and then 10 on chessjerk's. I guess some of those take any cave stuff had something to do with that. but we could very well could see magical swordplay here on chessjerk's side before too long.
Yeah, we saw chessjerk grab the heart out of the coast, Monocle Rock, and the Wrap location there on the eastern side. Fairly certain Dark Falls hasn't done the Wrap location or Monocle Rock. I could be wrong.
I don't believe so. I don't think that Falls has done those overworld checks yet. So we see Dark Falls continuing to dig through level 7, and so far really hasn't been rewarded for all of the hopefully is going to dig something out of here that will make all of this digging worth it. And we see an easy Triforce instead right in front of that dock that is not very good at guarding it.
He's good at throwing fireballs at you, though. And Dark Falls picking that Triforce up, tying the Triforce count back up. And yeah, should be headed over towards that ladder fairly soon if these B-hats let him out.
Yeah, one thing that is a little curious, chessjerk found a mugger room looking for a heart container or keys and has the any key, so could have just opted to take that route and removed the mugger because there were some rooms I believe that were above that room. So I wonder if maybe there was a bomb opportunity. We'll see the route chessjerk decides to take and whether that gets worked in later.
It might just kind of been a natural reaction.
Okay, and I think we will start to see Dark Falls pick up some of those secrets and the overworld errands over on this side of the map that we saw Chester taking care of.
And I do apologize for my silence. I am either having an issue with the streaming or there's an issue with the restream. So yeah, I do apologize for that.
Yep, we're gonna keep going with the stream. So stay tight, folks. We'll still be here with you. chessjerk picking up that heart container out of 5. I think that's the first time we've identified that there was one.
Alrighty, folks, don't panic if your screen goes blank. Behind the scenes, we are trying to fix the issue. Our restreamer is refreshing things on their end, so hopefully that'll fix it on everyone's.
Yep. While we're going through the technical rehab here, just take a moment out of your day if you don't mind. Go ahead and look up Chess Jerk and Dark Falls. Make sure you give both of them a follow. We will get those comments in chat so we can bring their links up. But just takes a second, and I'm sure they both appreciate it. Show some support for our runners tonight because they really do an excellent job in bringing us some quality entertainment.
Yep, without these racers racing, what races would we have to watch? Being raced.
So I think that's too deep for me right now.
But very close match so far. 40 minutes in, two Triforces looks kind of odd for racers of this caliber, but it just is a testament to the seed. It hasn't really been not giving players items, right? We found the any key super quickly. The raft is our most spot. Although, have we seen what is on in vanilla level 4?
Item wise, I don't
Level
have.
wise.
Oh, yep, vanilla level 4 is level 4. So Chester grabbed the wrap first from the Armos item and made his way over to level 4, that wrap, pretty early on. So we did identify that level 4 vanilla does contain level 4 in this seed.
I gotcha. Yeah, I remember Dark Falls. It was in level 4 for a little bit. But yeah. So the seed's been giving us stuff, but it's taken these runners a long time because of the combat. The dungeons are filled with Lionels and Wizrobes and Dark Nuts.
Yeah, this is exactly, I think, the kind of seed you don't want to see when you're crawling up those brackets because exactly like that, the any key right off the bat, you're really expecting that to play a huge part in it. And it does provide an advantage, but it doesn't make the combat any easier. And it doesn't make these dungeons any easier to clear if you haven't found the white sword, if you need the ladder to get the wand. You're really hoping that it's gonna throw you a bone, but, so far, we're not seeing this seed let up for either of our runners.
Does look like we have at least I saw Dark Falls in level 3 for a moment. As well, I'm noticing the tracker at least is indicated the white sword is in level 4, and look at that, chess jerk is now appearing in level 4 armed with the white sword.
Yeah, not just the white sword, but the red ring as well, a great find in level 4 there.
Ooh, very nice. So level 4 is like my favorite dungeon now. White sword, red ring, almost item free to get there. And Chester grabbing the Triforce there out of level 4. Meanwhile, Darkfall's still plugging along in 3. Not sure if he's found any hearts. Doesn't look like he's increased his heart count. Chestrick, on the other hand, while we were busy, it looks like he is up to 12 hearts total.
Yep, really nice health count there, and definitely there's a chance we'll see the magical sword play. Although we've got the white sword in effect, so that's a good combat advantage. And if you use the white sword and the wand at the same time, if you press both of those buttons at the same time, then you do actually get the full damage from both of them, which I believe would be 4 points total.
Yep, well, that would be correct. It's a pretty easy thing to do, just slide your thumb along both those buttons.
So we've got Darkfall still digging around. I think uh, is Darkfall's in level 3 or level 8?
I am not certain because on my end, anyway, it appears that the screen just went blank.
It
Dark
has.
Falls is just a body of water.
It's a nice time for reflection as we think what this game has meant to all of us. Falls returns and headed over near, I think, the Blue Ring shop, if I'm not mistaken, from Vanilla. Yep.
Yep, he is. What would he be looking for? I guess
Uh,
he might be purchasing a blue ring
yep.
or some bombs.
Chessjerk is over in the graveyard. I'm looking on Chessjerk's stream. Is up in the graveyard. Just tried to make a play for the magical sword and did not take it at 12 hearts. So we know it's got to be more. So questionable whether we'll see another attempt come out of here.
Yeah, yikes.
Yep. Chessjerk's
Mm,
in level 1 again, which we know is at the Vanilla 6 location. Yep.
Oh, Dark Falls making his purchase the candle. Just now grabbing that. And perhaps the meat. No?
Yeah, I don't think we saw. I don't have any items marked down level 6, which we know was in the vanilla level 8 location. So I'm curious as to what we will find there. May have been a heart container that I didn't mark down, but I don't know that we've seen either of the items that are located in 6 for this seed.
Well, I do remember one of those levels we found an early bait block. I'm not sure if the runners, that runner found a way around it or not.
Oh, you know what? You did that very well could be the case for level 6 too.
Oh, bait block was in 3 according to our restreamer.
Oh,
We know the Triforce was grabbed out of there, but there could be an item still remaining in 3. It's behind that bait block. So maybe Dark Falls keeping that in the back of his mind.
and
Another, but another thing that meat could be used for that he might be thinking of is luring certain enemies, considering that the combat has been a little bit tough.
that it has. Chessjerk, really grateful, I'm sure, for this white sword and is taking even the Wizrobes. We do see Chessjerk has 5 Triforce pieces compared over on Darkfall side, who's got 2. So we'll see, this game of catch up that we seem to be playing here. Our runners are trading off important items that they found. So Dark Falls, has picked up the ladder and has pretty much everything equivalent to Chessjerk except for the red ring and that white sword, both from level 4. And Chessjerk is about to pick up the silvers here. Yeah.
Yep, and it was just 18 minutes ago that both our runners were at 2 Triforces apiece. You can really see how the second part of this is picked up for Chessjerk, now a total of 5 Triforces. Just looking for that recorder.
Yep, it could be in one of a few locations. At this rate, we know that level 7 has a heart container in it, so we have one other item that we need to find. It really could be, I think it's 6 or 7 at this point.
You see Chessjerk also picking up the bait. So both these runners are on the same page.
If they know that's what they're going to have to do to progress, so not a common purchase, I think, but definitely one you see every once in a while where bait blocks really are a hindrance to progressing with the rest of them.
And at this point, item-wise, we are missing the book, the banana, and the recorder, along with a couple heart pieces.
If Dark Falls takes a staircase in level 6 here. We still haven't seen the map, I think, for level 6. I don't recall that we brought that up on chessjerk's side.
Yeah, I think chessjerk came in and out of here very quickly. But now with the red ring, his combat boost, he's more than happy to come back here and clear this out. Grab that Triforce, hunt down the item.
Yep, there's that
Item
main
or
hand
items.
that we saw earlier that really was causing some trouble. I think chessjerk left earlier to go retrieve bombs, try a different level for favor of not dealing with that combat. Darkfall's having some trouble in this room just even making any headway as chessjerk finds a room swarming with blue.
Yeah, the problem with this room for Dark Falls is these bubbles are taking away his sword, which you would love to use to stab those wizrobes. So just not those bubbles are just awful. Not as bad as the second quest ones, but never a fun time with those in the room.
Yep, you really take them for granted. I've seen a pretty nasty shoot room before with dark nuts and bubbles in the middle. So you really can't do anything except try to just dodge from side to side and avoid the bubbles. So they can cause more of a problem sometimes than even some, troubling enemy.
Dark Falls finds this diamond staircase.
Yep, and with these flags as well in the brackets, it is also possible to have an item in the staircase room.
Looks like our runners are neck and neck in this level 6. Greeted by the red candle underneath the burn bush locked dungeon. So that blue candle 100% necessary.
Yep, it's interesting though because you'd mentioned earlier the runners are not likely to pick up the red candle. Oh, we see a moment of indecision on Dark Falls' side. Do I pick up the Triforce? Do I leave it and keep it? But not necessary for the red candle, but definitely again a quality of life improvement item because you can use the red candle multiple times on a screen. You don't have to leave and then re. So an interesting choice for Dark Falls. We'll see if it is lucrative.
But we have found the ink blot for 6, and I don't know. What are you thinking? I can kind of see a T-Rex there, or maybe a hefty T-Rex, kind of wide in the midsection.
I always think of like a pot belly stove, like one of those really old wood stoves that is too much of a nuisance to really be worth it. But they are in old houses and they look kind of cool.
Aquamentus awaits with a 1996 Dodge Caravan. At least it's not that white Bronco.
That's very true.
Another diamond staircase. You know, that's transport.
Aquamentus says, if the power bracelet fits, you must acquit.
And Dark Falls has seen enough of 6, grabbing that Triforce and going.
It's true. Gary an old wolf in chat saying it looks like E.T. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have never seen the movie E.T., so I'm going to trust you.
E.T. Phone home, phone home, phone home.
I think that's all I need to see of the movie. It's just that audio clip, so exactly none of it.
That scene in particular is quite hilarious, if I do say so myself. But it looks like I misspoke. Darkfall's back here in 6. Gonna dig out the floor item if you can.
These blue wisp are giving chessjerk a whole lot of trouble. Thankfully, much easier with the white sword than it would be with the wooden, but still no fun to take him down.
Oh, it looks like our tracker has indicated recorder pickup here in level 6.
Well, with that, I guess that puts both of our runners in go mode at approximately the same time, which means they are on a mad dash to pick up the Triforce pieces. Finally, at 56 minutes into the seed, I'm sure they are both relieved to have picked up their. My goodness, yeah, we'll see how this pans out.
Hold on, I don't know if we can get ahead of ourselves because Darkfalls has the candle out of here and the Triforce. So if he did pick up the recorder, I don't know why he would still be in here. Aha! We've got some spoilers behind the scenes.
So we see
Oh,
chessjerk
there it
picking up
is.
the Triforce out of 6.
As Darkfall is finding the recorder at the same time there. So there it is. Recorder confirmed in 6. Chessjerk out of there. Not sure where Darkfalls is headed. Chessjerk in Triforce and Go mode. 2 dungeons left here in Vanilla 2, and then 2 located at Recorder Lake. So 2 and 7 kind of swap places this seed. Stark falls in level 4. Saw him spawn the Triforce.
Yeah, may not have realized he was in go mode. I'm not sure why he walked out of the Triforce room, but in any case, picks needs 3 more pieces out of 2, 5, and 8. Neither of our runners picked up the Triforce out of 2, interestingly enough. Well, I guess that makes sense. 2 recorder blocks.
Yep. But Darkfalls, knowing which items are out there, quite possibly was looking for one of those 2 items that happen to be in level 4, namely the white sword and the red ring. Looking at his heart count, he might be thinking that magical sword is impossible at this point. Going to be the first one to show us level 2.
And the first instance, I think, also of the recorder too. Level 2 looks like it is particularly good for developing film, given this color palette.
Yep, and there it is. Chessjerk grabbing the Triforce at a level 7. 1 to go. Given all his hearts, though, it is a little bit of time that he's spending in that cutscene there. Dark Falls finds the compass. And is this Goma blocked? And chat also mentioning chessjerk must have picked up a bomb upgrade. Just +2 for that, what was it, 97 rupees?
That it was. It was 3 under the normal vanilla price. So not great for +3, but it does give you that bomb refill, and having extras is always nice. So we are an hour into the race, and both of our runners are in go mode, just trying to collect these last Triforce pieces. Chessjerk has not yet located the compass. We do see a segmented level 2 here over on Dark Falls' side after picking up the map. Interesting shape there. Not sure what's going on. But Dark Falls is making his way down to pick up the Triforce there.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine on that shape. I guess you know what? It could be the magic school bus flying over some sort of thing.
Flying over Easter Island. It's one of those big old statues. That seems like a thing that the Magic School Bus would do. Dark Falls finds a heart container in. At this stage in the race, both of our runners have every item that they need in order to complete the game. It is truly anyone's race. It could come down to, and we've seen it come down to, routing in level 9. There are so many staircases to deal with in level 9, and a ton of different routes that the runners could take that, just as Garion says in chat, it's not over till it's over. So while it looks like, Chessjerk does have more Triforce pieces at this point, if Dark Falls takes the right turns once he hits level 9, and Chessjerk doesn't in different ways, then we could see this be anyone's game.
Yep, absolutely. You can't count either of these racers out just yet. Level 9 can beat any sort of
Dark Falls finds the room with Triforce pretty easy. Just one quick up there on the floor.
Yep, and out of level 2. So he needs to go back to level 8 and go back to level 5. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not exactly sure where our runners are at this point. There, Dark Falls is in level 8. This was the ladder block Triforce, so he knows exactly where this one is. And then level 5 was located at our vanilla level 1 location.
So we know chessjerk has already been back there. Picked up that Triforce earlier on.
And Dark Falls grabbing that Triforce. 1 to go.
Yep, just one more quick Triforce piece. We are off to level 9. At that point, we'll be searching for a few different things, but once we get there, we will talk more about what each of our runners is looking for. Yep, and thank again all for your patience as we work to get chessjerk stream back up on the Restream channel. We appreciate you. We appreciate you sticking with us. So hang tight. We'll be back soon with chessjerk as we follow Dark Falls continuing his adventure through Hyrule to find that Triforce piece for level 5 as Dark Falls picks up that Take Any that's right below vanilla level 1. Pretty good if you're running sort of toward the end and you just need one last heart container. At that point, you can decide, do I take a heart container or do I take a potion? It all depends on how you're feeling at that point and your health status. Did you pick up the red ring? Lots of factors that go into that decision.
At this point, most runners, especially this caliber, having not gotten the letter, will most likely want to pick up that potion as opposed to just one extra heart. But again, depending on if you really want the magical sword or not, that could also come into play in your decision making. And we're back, chessjerk, in level 9, searching out that pig. The pig will make himself known, squealing quite loudly. You hear the pig, you know Ganon's north, south, east, or west of your current location. Also looking for that shutter door that does not open once the enemies are cleared out. There's one shutter door, and it has to be in a room with a single shutter that is triggered to fly open if and only if the pig is defeated. Unless, of course, there is that flag where Ganon is not necessarily required. However, in these flags for this tournament, he most certainly is. So looking for that squealing pig and that shutter door tonight.
Absolutely. So these runners, in some cases we've seen level 9, 6 rooms, and in other cases they've had to clear nearly the entire thing. So chessjerk will be looking for both of those telltale signs, has everything that he needs, including the silver arrows. At this point, sort of a mad dash for both of the runners to find both Ganon and Zelda. Or in Dark Falls' case, I suppose Ganon and then Link, the rescued.
Yep. Speaking of Dark Falls, also back with us in level 9. So, as we said earlier, it's down to level 9. Who can find the pig, make up, serve us some bacon, and find the princess? Or at least find the shutter door guarding the kidnapped. Looks like Dark Falls opting to peek into some of these staircases. That's one strategy, is to take all in any staircase you find, take it right away, or you can not do that and just kind of mark down where they are.
Yep, and every decision these runners make in the course of this level 9 will affect their timing to get to Ganon and to the kidnapped. So we see the divergence in their route determining who's going to find the beast first? Who will take it? It's a very close match, and we could see either of them take it at this.
Chessjerk with both the combat and defense advantage saw him face tank that Gleeok without a care in the world. We might have a sighting of a shutter door. I did not note any door that didn't open.
Yeah, didn't quite see it. I think it might have stuttered a little on chessjerk's side, but we will definitely find out for sure once chessjerk locates Ganon. Does he know where Zelda is after?
Or Dark Falls could be finding her any moment.
Yep. Did we see chessjerk pick up a potion along the way, or just heart container so far?
I did not note him picking up any potions. I know he took 3 of the Take Any Hearts. I'm also, oh wait, no, that was a different seed. I thought the Armos was a heart, but nope, not tonight.
They do all sometimes start to run into one another, so I completely understand. That Gleeok on chessjerk's side a few rooms ago, you see 2 heads, and then beneath those 2 heads, 2 more heads just poke out. So I think it's just an innocent 4-headed or 2-headed Gleeok, and it turns out, no, it's the real McCoy.
I got excited as that shutter door on chessjerk's side swung wide open, but then I realized, oh yeah, we are still hungry. We need some bacon.
We are still looking for Ganon at this point. Now, an interesting note on the shapes flag for these brackets is that the only room that will turn dark in level 9 is Ganon's room. So if we walk into walk into a room and it immediately goes dark, we know we found Ganon. In most cases of the game, if you're playing vanilla, then you will find dark rooms that you have to light up with the candle. But there was some mercy taken on these players, so the only dark room that will happen in level 9 is Ganon. So we found the wooden boomerang in level 9, one of the staircase items. chessjerk decides that he's not going to pick that up and continues looking for Ganon and Zelda.
Yeah, you pick up the banana 73 minutes in, and I'm going to question your sanity. I suppose unless your opponent is already finished, and you're just showing your loyal support.
You're playing an exhibition seed at that.
Mainly if you think TG is gonna roll your next seed.
Definitely. Both of our runners being hammered on by like some really angry pancakes.
And that Gliok on Dark Falls side, not guarding a bomb. chessjerk does have a bigger chunk of this level 9 explored, going off of his submap there. So appears to be a magical staircase over to the pig. Not sure if either runner's heard any squealing yet.
Oh, we see both runners in the same room at the same time, so
Oh wow.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see who takes the right road from here. chessjerk does have much more of the level explored, but it only takes one lucky break and you find the way to Ganon.
Yep, and not making the divergence. But again, chessjerk armed with that ring and sword. Oh, hey, there we go. chessjerk has found Zelda's room, but no, she's not here.
Just a whole lot of Gibdos.
No, not bad for some bombs.
But we do see a shutter door, and
Aha.
all of the enemies have been defeated, and that is not open. So I believe we have found Zelda. Both runners at the same time picked up the recorder at the same time, entered level 9 within it's just minutes of each other. Find Zelda at the same time. It is a mad dash for Ganon. Who will find him first?
Here, piggy, 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 piggy. Suey.
I'm still waiting for the sequel of Ganon Big City. I don't think it's gonna happen. Sorry, I had to take a moment to recover from that. So we are still looking. Gibdos everywhere. You know, in terms of combat, they really could be worse. But on chessjerk's side, we have located Ganon, even the sound effects to accompany it. So, 8 slashes with the white sword. chessjerk has got Ganon a really effective sunlock and takes down the pig with the silver arrows. Has to reroute back to Zelda, so we shall see. Does he do it? Does he remember the... Did he mark it down?
Oh, absolutely. chessjerk knows exactly where to go. And what a finish it's been. But wow, wowie, this has been a super close race. But we're going to be saying goodbye to Dark Falls for this tournament. He's put on a great showing tonight.
Yes, definitely. So, ladies and gentlemen, please get your GGs in chat for chessjerk, who has finished the race first, has beaten the best 2 out of 3 against Dark Falls, and will be moving on to the next round to take on either Captain Green or Truant Gamer. So GG's to chessjerk as we continue following Dark Falls through level 9 to find Ganon. Knows where the kidnap is.
Yeah, I imagine at this point, Dark Falls has it narrowed down to just a handful of rooms where Ganon can be. So up here in the northwest.
Yep, I think was very far in the northwest. We're getting, second column, second row, probably right around the CA and camp. And we do find out the quarter theme was the boss theme from Super Mario RPG.
But with that, we have been joined by the victor of this match of 2 games. chessjerk, congratulations. Quite the seed, though.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was, for many, many reasons. But how about that 9 again? What a 9.
Yeah, you had a few minute lead in there, and but it was coming down to it. You found the shutter door. I want to say less than 30 seconds behind Dark Falls, and just managed to take the right route over to the pig.
I definitely felt like it was going to be another close match, and it does seem like that came to fruition. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it didn't disappoint. And moving on, you're going to be facing the winner of Captain Green or Truant Gamer. Any thoughts on that potential matchup?
Oh boy, that's about it. Both seasoned competitors, and definitely have some scores to settle with Captain Green. He's I don't think I've beaten him once in anything yet, and he's knocked me out of I think 2 battle royales and probably some other things too. So
Well, this
Ooh,
could
okay.
who knows? We'll see what happens.
We'll find out on Monday who's the winner between those two as we move on to game 3 of their series. So prepare for anything, I think.
Always.
Yeah, we saw an amazing amount of synchronization in this seed too, where you and Dark Falls both picked up the recorder. Both were searching for the toward the end of your important item search and picked it up within a few screens of each other, and then both made mad dashes for the Triforce pieces. So what were you thinking as you were looking for the recorder? Did you know where it was going to be?
I had it narrowed down, but no, because I still had 6 and 7 that I could have. Or no, it was in 6. Yeah, so I still had 7. The fact I didn't need to dig 7, that's always a wonderful thing. But just a matter of making the right guesses at the right time.
Yep. One of the things that you had over Dark Falls there, especially going into 9, was the red ring and the white sword. You stuck. I forget which item you were looking for. I think you were still looking for the recorder at that point. So you dug out 4 and grabbed those. That awesome upgrade there. Dark Falls never dug that out. Found the recorder and then went back to 4. So he's been in at 9 without that major advantage.
Ah, yes. I can see how that would be a problem.
So on our restream, we still got Dark Falls going through 9. Ooh, takes a death to those red mola.
Yep, and that's unfortunately going to be it for Dark Falls. But let's see if we can't bring him in here to chat. I do want to ask you, chessjerk, what do you think of this flag set as opposed to the more chaotic flag set that you've been used to race in the past? I don't know how many years.
It definitely is. It definitely brings something different to the table. Like for instance, like every time I go onto the coast in these seeds, I always by instinct go into the shop right next to the coast item, even though I already know what's in there, because I've already checked that same shop elsewhere on the world. It's just it's instinct on that. And I got every time I go in there, like, you don't need to go in there, you know what's in there. But it's as far as overall, knowing where everything is, kind of, it definitely makes it a different in a good way, I think. But I definitely lose something from not having to plan to bomb every screen or burn every screen and looking for all the dungeons and looking for that, what the white sword item is deep on Death Mountain or something. And it definitely, I miss that in a way. So, but overall, not too bad. And GG Dark Falls.
You too, my friend. Well played. As always, you're a monster. Just fun to play, my friend. Good luck.
It was amazing seed. Yeah, thank you very much. It was a fun seed in some ways. Not.
I had a lot of blocks. I had to double dip quite a few dungeons.
You're not the only one.
Same. Definitely same.
It was probably closer than you might think, although we had a few hiccups on the restream. You guys were neck and neck grabbing that recorder, neck and neck finding the shutter door to the princess. So good game all around.
I apologize for that. My stream died. That didn't help, but luckily it came back up pretty quickly.
So where was he
I
anyway?
was really worried that it wasn't going to come back up.
Was he in the upper left?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I was making my way over that way.
Yeah, the staircase that's 3 right and 3 down from the top left corner. You need to bomb left, and he's right above there.
Yeah, I was heading that way, and then I died to the Landmola, so I was just
okay.
yeah, I'm done.
Yep. I mean, that was like, I literally knew he had to be there because I had been next to every other blank room. So it was the only option I had left.
How far apart we were from entering 9 August?
I want to say maybe 90 seconds or so. There was a little bit of hiccups in the stream there as both of you guys were going towards level 9. So unfortunately, I can't say for certain.
Yeah, it was incredibly close, though. Really, just the last 20 minutes or so of the race, you guys were neck and neck.
Nice.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad I stuck with CJ. He's one of the best in the game. Really fun to play. Glad I met him. Glad I met him through this community. Everyone give CJ a follow. Really, really good guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And give my competitor Dark Falls as well. Yeah, always fun to play you, man.
I think this is 2 tournaments now you've knocked me out of. So next session, yeah, you knocked me out of the Pet the Forest also.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean it. I really didn't.
Yeah, man, it's all in fun. I'm always happy to play, no matter what happens.
Absolutely.
How we build a healthy competition. I think
of
that's
course.
exactly
you got
what.
It.
Yep, and chessjerk has, I guess, some score to settle against Captain Green. So I'm not sure if he's rooting for Captain Green, but certainly that'll be exciting as we've heard some challenging words there.
As challenging as I can possibly be, but which is not very much. But that's all right. We'll see what happens.
But absolutely, definitely want to thank both these racers again for racing these races. Without the racers, we wouldn't have the races to watch being raced. And thanks to my co-commentator Threech, and of course Fry Teeth for tracking, and Gary and Wolf doing his best behind the scenes restreaming here on Randomania.
Sorry, Gary.
Threech, chessjerk, Dark Falls. Any final words?
No, just GG chessjerk. Good luck next round, my friend. Go deep, win this whole thing.
Thank you very much. GG as always. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much. And thank you for the commentary and everything else. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. It's the August 40th as well for co-commentary. Gary and Old Wolf and Fry Teeth, get out there, everyone, and give these guys a follow. Again, I know they really definitely stick around if you want to watch more Zelda 1 Randomizer. Check out some of the other speed gaming and Randomania channels that are hosting these races all the time. We've got plenty of races going on, so if you like this and you want to see more, look at the Randomania and Speed Gaming family of channels and go check out some really, really excellent races so you can see more of this elsewhere.
I will say now I'm salty because I saw the tracker. I didn't have the red ring or the white sword the entire play, so I was on green tunic and wood.
You are stronger than I am, I think.
I'm very salty now.
Yeah, level 4 with a pretty good combat dungeon pretty late into this.
The sad thing is the red ring was not far out of the way in level 4. And the white sword was in 4 also. Okay, well, that makes sense. But white sword was all the way. You had to go dig the entire dungeon to get to the white sword.
Yeah, I went to the Triforce and I left.
Yeah, I went for mags too at 12. Didn't get it. Sad.
Yep.
Yeah, I was in go mode.
I should have known. So. I should have known. Last seed, okay, it was 10. This seed's gonna be 14, right? Of course. But I tried anyway.
Is fickle and cruel.
I never learn ever.
So everyone, make sure also if you want to watch more of this right now happening on Randomania 3, go check out the race between Sea Falcon and DM 1184. Go check that out. Another good race in our grasp. So again, GG's to chessjerk. Dark Falls really well played. Tough component, and you handled it like a champ. So well done, both of you, for getting this far in the bracket.
Thank you very much.
That's all, folks.
All right. Thanks, everyone.